Hello. Just a quick little video here reacting to the recent news out of the Department of Justice regarding several conservative, libertarian, what have you, right-leaning podcasters on YouTube who fell under this blanket group of Tenet media, and apparently we're getting paid by Moscow. I don't care what they say about being quote-unquote victims of some sort of Russian plot. When you're getting $100,000 a week, you should do your due diligence and find out who it is that's paying you, and they didn't do that. They're hacks, and in my opinion, they are willing enablers of Russia's campaign here in Ukraine, but further afield in Russia's information warfare campaign against the West, and in particular, America. So I give them very little compassion or sympathy. Maybe they were being fellow travelers or willfully ignorant, or maybe they do hold sympathies with Russia's vision of a white Christian ethno-state. But one way or the other, they should have known better. But this is what Russia does, okay? It is a consistent pattern, and once you get their MO, their modus operandi, you can see it a mile off. It is always about divide and conquer. And confusion is one of their greatest weapons. If you kind of in the last few years or however long have felt yourself on very unstable ground when it comes to the information that you are receiving, well, that's on purpose. That's part of their game plan. Now, is everything because of them? No. But in no small measure, that's what they're out there doing. And we should be aware of it and combat it. Never take one single source, for example, when you're consuming information. Never go for just the headline that elicits an emotional response, makes you angry, makes you sad, elicits a strong, quick emotion. Always read into the body of the information that you're receiving, or, watch fully or listen fully to the podcast or the vlog, what have you. Also be aware that one of the other things that Russia does is it sets up fake newspapers or outlets that seem legit. So they'll say, the banner will be the Cincinnati Star Herald or something, and it looks legit, but it's really just all for show, so that they can spread their misinformation and disinformation. Now, I know a lot of you will be saying, "Oh, Phil, you see Russian agents behind every door." Well, as the old saying goes, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. This is happening, guys, and it's happening with increasing ferocity and frequency now as we head into the last legs of the American election. And it's going to continue, and it's going to get more abundant. Do be careful, and certainly don't cast your ballot based on some of this stuff that's out there. Moscow gets more bang for its buck this way. They don't have to buy another MiG fighter jet or another missile system. The battlefield is in your mind because they know that you have a vote, something they don't fully understand, empowering your people. So do be careful with what you do with that vote. And the other thing is there's very real world consequences for this kind of. This isn't just lobbying. This isn't just trying to get political influence in the United States. This is information warfare. I mean, they got Donald Trump into the White House in 2016. They put their thumb on the scale, and I know people don't like this kind of discussion because of all the pushback that the Trump and the MAGA team say. Russia, 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 just being kind of dismissive. Well, no, not Russia, Russia, Russia. Moscow is out there, and they are targeting us with intent, and there is a body count. Think of what would have happened had Donald Trump not been in office when the pandemic arose. How many millions of Americans would potentially still be alive? And then, you also think about their campaign to attack Ukraine, which was so effective that for 7 months we dithered about whether to continue to provide military support for Ukraine. There's a body count involved in that. Okay? So this isn't just esoteric. And then finally, there's a body count in the form of Mikhail Lesin. Now, who's Mikhail Lesin? Those of you maybe who have been watching my stuff for a while have heard me speak of him in the past. The very same apparatus, information weapon that Russia used in this latest thing with Tim Pool and Dave Rubin and all the rest of them. RT, well, that was Lesin's baby. You don't have to convince somebody of an opposite or a differing narrative. All you have to do is sow the seeds of doubt in the narrative that people do believe. That was his technique. It worked very well in Russia. I saw it in the late 90s as he was coming up with Putin as his spin doctor and becoming the creator of Russia Today, or RT. Well, Michael Lesin, in 2015, goes to Washington, D.C. And now, mind you, he's up to some shady stuff, and, who knows? But he's found dead days before he is reportedly going to be speaking to U.S. law enforcement. Highly suspicious. Initial medical reports show, numerous blows to the head. D.C. police, however, say it was because of his chronic alcoholism and that he had fallen over in his hotel room in a drunken stupor. Again, not to get the tinfoil hat out, but it's highly, highly suspicious in my mind. What was it that Lesin was going to tell our authorities? So all of this is just basically to say we're under attack, people. And this is not some sort of abstract concept. This is not something that is innocuous and just, something to think about as a mental exercise. Our body politic has been, and will be attacked by Moscow because they know that if they can divide us, which is their primary intent, that is the best way to conquer us. It's the same way with Osama bin Laden or Ayman Zawahiri. Our enemies know that when we stand together, there's nothing that we can't do. It is the United States of America, and they know that. They can't fight on a fair battlefield, toe-to-toe. But if they can get us to attack one another, then they can really do us some serious damage. So this latest thing with Benny Johnson and all the rest of them, these idiots who took money from a foreign adversary, should face very severe consequences. And there's more out there. There are more schemes. There are things yet to be uncovered. And I'm sure as we get closer and closer to Election Day, that the Russians will continue to be up to no good. Be very mindful and keep watching On the Edge. Thanks, everyone.